We're here at our most recent project, which is called the Lao National Institute of Tourism and Hospitality, or LANITH, which is a well-known institution both here in Lao, regionally, and also internationally. And we want to spend a few minutes introducing to you what we've done here at LANITH over the past 8 years. Sabai. How are you? Okay? Good. I used to be the vice president of the Pacific Asia Travel Association. When I was there, I learned a lot about international tourism, especially in Asia and the Pacific. Learned about marketing destinations, learned about the needs of destinations in terms of development, and just overall built a network of great people within Asia Pacific travel and tourism. Is really all about people. It's the underpinning, competitive, unique selling point for this part of the world. First, I worked in Vietnam in development cooperation. I worked with the Asian Development Bank. During that time, was in the process of developing a company called Destination Human Capital, with the specific intent of working with countries to develop their people. Luxembourg had this interesting concept, idea of wanting to look at some of the things they'd done in Vietnam and develop a hospitality and tourism school here in Lao. So what we did over 8 years is we were given liberty by the Luxembourg government on behalf of the Lao government to experiment. And we experimented. It's delivering education and training at an international standard in a country that has really struggled with development, especially human capacity development, for a long time. It wasn't so big when we came up with the idea, but now it is the thing that will make a difference in this part of the world. So we took the opportunity to say, here's the tourism industry, which is this great industry, which has great potential to develop the economy of Lao, and now let's match it with the people.
I changed some of my presentation.
Yes. What did you do?
Many.
What did you change?
A lot.
This is B. B's the director of LANITH, my protege.
So our challenge is that we don't have insufficient staff, and then the commitment from the government to us in terms of salary, the status of LANITH, and also the insufficient funding from the government agency and also the donor.
Private sector speaks one language and government development speaks another language, and they don't really understand one another. And so therefore, sometimes, if they don't understand one another, what do you expect the result's going to be? Our vision wasn't derailed. We stayed loyal and faithful to our vision. And the Passport to Success was very much about innovation. Why Passport to Success? Because we actually gave young Laotians a passport, and in there they could get stamps. But here's one book where all the training I've done is all compiled in this book.
Our curriculum is from us. We create for Lao people. We develop the content based on the need of ASEAN, and then we follow the ASEAN guideline. We have the benchmark and recognized by international organization. Our teachers have experience and committed to make the difference. We work with another donor and we are able to generate income.
Very strong.
Yes.
So it's recognized by the industry as being a credible credential that actually indicates that somebody has competence to do something. The private sector wants skilled people. They want people that have IT skills, they want people that have English language skills, they want people that have problem-solving skills, and very importantly, they want people that have leadership ability and the right attitude, because the problem in Lao is not about the number of people that you have at the front line. It's about the fact that you always have to have foreigners coming in to manage them because the Lao don't have the management capacity. What we heard from the private sector is help us to get the first level of experience for future managers and supervisors. And that's what we did with the LANITH diploma, which was our next product. And it was interesting because those two core products, you had the Passport to Success on the industry training side, and you had the LANITH diploma on the education side. Why don't you have like some sort of an executive training program for our supervisory staff? Because they can't do the LANITH diploma because they're already employed with us, but can you do a short, smart something? Well, we used to do that at Cornell all the time, a lot of that stuff. And so we said, yeah, sure, we'll do that. So we created another training product, which is the Laneth Executive Training Program. We have two types of products, if you will be, because one product we actually get the private sector to pay directly to improve their staff, but there's some that's really reliant on donors to support it. So it's good. We have those that can generate revenue, and those that need to be donor supported. They have to pay for the tuition for the students and the trainees to come. Boy, if we want to make an institution, we've got to create a brand, and we've got to get that brand out there. Laneth was born sometime then as well, and we've branded our project ever since. The philosophical change was to go from a push strategy to a pull strategy. How do we draw people to us? What do we have to do to get people to say, wow, what's Laneth doing over there? That's really interesting. We were diligent with our brand. We had lots of public relations, so it was always out there somewhere. We created events like the Laneth Symposia. We had 18 Laneth Symposia where we got all kinds of people to come. The last one was at the British Embassy. The British ambassador came to the 17th Laneth Symposium and said, do the 18th at my embassy with Lord Putnam, who's the producer of Midnight Express and Chariots of Fire. One of my dreams for DHC actually is that I would like to have a regional symposium, but maybe even bigger than that, where we actually bring governments together with the private sector, and we actually start to talk a little bit more about hospitality and tourism education, you know, in a more tangible way, in a real way. There was just this real sort of business approach to everything that we did. We made lots of videos, and you know what we did, which was part of it, so it was the brand, but any successful business has to have products. So what we did is we created products. We needed to create credibility for our institution, and I think part of the branding was to say, yeah, this is a real institution that exists, it's embedded in the Lao government, but it acts in a private sector manner. We wanted to have sustainable long-term market penetration, and I think that's what the brand did for us.
When people mention the word sustainability, we need to look at it from a school point of view. We need to look at it from a hospitality and tourism point of view. We need to look at it from a government point of view. I think where Laneth has been able to contribute to this is that not only do we give students the skills to work in the industry, whether it's in the airlines, whether it's in hotels, restaurants, travel agents, but I think what we've tried to do is instill a behavioral change when it comes to the understanding that without an environment, without a proper focus on sustainability within the environment, tourism and hospitality won't last in Laos.
Like it or not, we have to be self-sustainability.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, isn't it, sustainability?
Exactly. So we have to find one way or another to make ourselves survive.
You gotta run Laneth like a business.
Yes.
Yeah?
There's no point importing or parachuting curricula from other countries into a developing economy. It must be owned by the teachers themselves. It must be developed by the teachers themselves. And also it takes into account the prior learning of a typical student from that country. At the end of the day, Laneth is about sustainable collaboration from many different stakeholders. I've been a partner at DHC, Destination Human Capital, for some years now. I've had some experience and the privilege of working in many different European countries, and in 2006 I moved to Singapore, where I became a lecturer and professional development manager in hospitality and tourism education. When I arrived here 6 years ago, there wasn't any kind of school in existence that would have been dedicated to the education and training of young Lao people in this industry. My first idea was to create a school that you or I would like to go to. Now, some of the challenges in Laos, in any typical developing economy, would be the lack of teachers that would have experience in this area, and also the lack of curricula or content for courses and training programs. So my job was really to come here and create a school from scratch. The first thing I did was to have a look at the current educational and training system at the technical vocational level. So when you create a school from scratch, you have to talk to a lot of stakeholders, public, private, other institutions, and you have to talk to the young people of Laos. What do they want? What do they want out of education? So we call that process developing the desired graduate profile. We sent young Lao people abroad for 2 years to study hospitality and tourism at diploma level. We then brought them back, and by the time we came back, I had the framework for curriculum development ready. And then I developed the curriculum in collaboration with the teachers. Laneth opened in 2013. We had a first cohort. They have now graduated. We now have a current cohort, and they should be graduating next year. Laneth is about looking at a different model for human capital development. It's not just about a school to train young people with skills to work in the industry. It needs to be more than that. It needs to give young people confidence that when they enter the school, there's a career ahead. There is something for them to strive towards.
I love hospitality, and I was working in this industry when I was 13, so I just love it here.
Right.
So I know Laneth, that's why I come here, and when I get here, I feel I love more hospitality.
Right, and what are you doing today?
So today it's kind of like we have exam, and so like it's our project, so we set up the table for 26 people.
Okay.
And so we're gonna have set menu today, and everything, all the setup, the food is decided by our student here, or it's
Excellent.
decided by us here.
And who are you serving?
It's gonna be some of the teachers here.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna come and check it out here, and
Yeah.
some of the guests from outside as
Oh,
well.
so we get outside guests
Yes.
as well.
I am a chef of Laneth. Today is an exam for the student, exam day for the student. I think they work really hard to get the score from us. So they have to do everything right, not just only do la 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 la. Yeah.
I studied culinary arts. Like we join the kitchen for once a week, yeah, and then restaurant for once a week. Like just like this, but them twice a week. So they're better than me, but you know,
Great.
yes.
And how long did you spend in Dublin?
I lived there. I studied there for 1 year, and but the course is take about 10 months.
10
I
months.
think, yeah.
Okay.
10 months.
And the nice thing about that is that scholarship was actually paid for by Irish Aid. So one of the things about Laneth is that we work with various different partners to produce scholarships for future teachers, like Anutha.
Like I'm going to be a teacher soon.
And continue to raise the awareness that hospitality and tourism is a good career to improve their future, and most importantly is to improve the quality of their life.
Yeah.
We also need to move away from some of the old-fashioned curricula. We need to move away from pure skills training. We need to give young people an idea that hospitality and tourism is about business. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about marketing. And now in 2016, it's about technology and being comfortable with technology. Some of our students here come from very rural backgrounds, and when they come to our school, they would never have had any access to technology. It's extraordinary how quickly young Lao people have taken to technology. The growth of technology usage is enormous, and it's actually one of the fastest growing in the world. I think when we teach the students to start caring about themselves and their community, this feeds into Lao society, and it matches with Lao culture. Lao culture is all about society, it's all about community. And I think our Laneth students are cherished by the private sector, and they're also cherished by their community because we teach civic responsibility throughout our diplomas and throughout our programs.
This kitchen was built in 6 months, so obviously the whole building infrastructure took a lot longer than that. But from the point that it was handed over from the builders to installing the equipment and actually getting the thing operational, it took 6 months. It's challenging in developing economies to build this sort of facility. Arguably, it's the best facility in Laos.
If you haven't got a clean kitchen, we can't have clean food. That's the simplest way of explaining it. It's the foundations of all good food and all clean food, particularly in the developing environment like Laos. We have to be very careful. And therefore this is, as you correctly said, this is the best place in Laos and probably a few other countries regionally as well.
Yeah, within the Mekong.
Certainly the best training facility.
I'm here to conduct the final evaluation of the LANET project, and from my point of view, LANET has been developed as a real center of excellence for vocational training and hospitality, offering the best opportunities to get skill that provides tailor-made products that really supports Laos to improve its service quality in tourism and hospitality, and also to raise the competitiveness of the destination at regional level.
My proudest moment at LANET was when LANET won the World Travel and Tourism Council Award for Investment in People. That to me was a global award. It was a recognition of all our efforts.
Came to LANET, I have to frankly tell you that I didn't know about this institution. And of course, LANET has been a very remarkable institution that making a difference from bottom-up approach. And in many government projects, I have seen only makes it in the writings, and sometimes it ends up in the shelf. But here in LANET, they do it every day, day-to-day basis, and students are happy, and people are making differences. And that's what is motivating others to join. And I think the existence of LANET is really needs to be recognized.
I am working at Laos National Institute of Tourism and Hospitality. I am the winner of 2014 Face of the Future Award from PATA, Pacific Asia Tourism Association. I would like to thank you for LANET and on my team that has supported me to go to this point. And also thank you PATA for seeing the importance of young professionals in this industry. Thank you very much.
And the prestigious TED course certification.
And you know there's only 20 schools in all of Asia and the Pacific that have TED Qual?
No, but it's only one country, which is the Indonesia.
Indonesia.
In the ASEAN country.
In the ASEAN region, correct.
That have the TED course certification.
Yeah.
So if we won this award, we will be like the only two among the ASEAN countries.
Yeah.
So which
Is it hard to get?
Yes.
It's very hard to get, isn't
It's really
it?
hard to get.
We're really excited about this. This is an example of where we try to bring lots of people together to make an impact in the community here. We've got the International Labor Organization here today. We've got 40 participants from NGOs, from the private sector, from the government, and we're presenting them with learning tools where they can actually get out into communities and spread the word about tourism, provide them with tourism skills, and really fortify their ability in the communities to absorb tourism. So it's a really exciting event. They're all coming out now, but we've got 40 great people, and this is just another example of the kinds of things that we're doing at LANET to improve service quality and make a big difference in this country.
Yeah, no, we've been talking and working together for some years now. Of course, you're one of the most knowledgeable guys that I know in the tourism sector, so that's been a real important input for me, because that's not my area. LANET itself is one of the top quality tourism organizations and institutions. It's head and shoulders above anything else that exists. But I would say that's regionally also the case.
Wow.
You know, it's the reason like that Passport to Success is consistently highlighted.
Yeah.
You know, that it's in the news.
Yeah.
And not just for Laos, but outside of Laos.
I think that's one of our goals actually, is maybe together with ILO, is to see how we can get the concept of Center of Excellence, Passport to Success, get that onto a regional level, especially an ASEAN level.
No, I think the ILO would be very interested in that, going beyond what happens in Laos, the whole concept of developing competencies within tourism that are acceptable, and particularly within ASEAN now, it's about the transferability of those skills and the common established skills that exist within tourism.
How did my company, our company, Destination Human Capital, how did we help LANET? I mean, in what way were we useful to you? And would you recommend other countries working with Destination Human Capital to help them? What do you think?
Definitely, because you are the father of Lanit, yeah?
I'm the father of Lanith. Yeah, but I'm getting old now. I want to go give birth to some more.
You have to produce more Lanit in another part of the world.
We want to do that, very
Yeah.
much so, very much.
And
And we're
it's-
always going to use Lanith as one of our base camps.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring lots of people from other ASEAN countries to come and look at this institution. So
Yes.
it's, you know, what makes me very proud is that this was invented in Laos and is going to be exported to other parts of ASEAN and to Asia and the Pacific. And it's unusual. Usually it's the other way around. Usually people are importing things into Laos. So the Center of Excellence model, all the things that you and your team have done,
Yeah.
it's really something it's Laos Su Su, yeah? It's making Laos very proud. Our client list is incredible. We have over 100 different clients from the public sector to the private sector to donors to you name it.
I think the Lanith model for human capital development can be rolled out or can be adapted in different countries. It really does act as a focal point to bring different stakeholders together, and that's what hospitality and tourism needs.
I would actually like to see if we could take the brand and actually create a hotel school management company.
So here in Laos, we've built a school. We've educated teachers and we've developed curriculum. At the next level, we have developed incredible networks within Laos. But at the macro level, we're also able to go right up to the top, write a tourism policy that makes sense at the micro level.
The model's there, and the model's just waiting for the right visionary government to actually run with it. And there'll be big kudos for that. Hardest fight, and one that I would still pursue. We'll get it right still.
I believe that DHC has a unique offering when it comes to hospitality and tourism education and training, or when it comes to general destination human capital. Myself and Peter, we have worked at every level. And I think one of the things that we can bring to the table is the fact that we've both worked in the private sector and we have also worked in development. And sometimes the communication between the two worlds doesn't run very smoothly. I think we're able to create a new language that the development world can use, the private sector world can use, and of course the public sector. And I think because of the experience that DHC has in all of those sectors, we have been able to bridge some gaps and to help communication flow smoothly.
When I started this job, I was a young man. Look at me now.
So now you've been able to take a tour with us of Lanith, and you've gotten to know a little bit more about the project that we've been working on for the last 8 years.
Clearly, we're really proud of this project. Lanith is a great case study, and it's an example of the sorts of things that our company can do for other destinations in Asia and the Pacific. Visit our website at www.destinationhumancapital.com, where we have a full array of case studies of the different work that we've done. We really look forward to collaborating in the future.